Longtime Chicagoan Willie Wilson is a self-made multimillionaire who began as an entry-level McDonald's employee and eventually rose through the ranks to own several of the restaurant's franchises. He currently owns a medical supply company, and he's now a candidate for mayor of Chicago in next month's election. While Wilson's campaign is flush with money, mostly his own, his message of how he would run the city differently or better has not yet reached a wide audience. What has made headlines are comments by his estranged son, who went online to call him a deadbeat dad. And Willie Wilson joins us now. Welcome to Chicago Tonight. I should mention at the very top that you have a doctorate in humanitarianism, I believe, and you go by Dr. Willie Wilson, which is the name of your website. And I'll get to that issue about your son in a second. But there are still many potential voters out there who have never heard of you, don't know anything about you. What would you like to tell them about yourself?
Well, one thing I like to tell them about myself, that I'm a self-made person, independent. I'm a business person, I'm not a politician, and I don't owe anybody anything.
You were born in Louisiana, I believe, and under very poor circumstances, and you came to Chicago, and as I mentioned, you rose through the ranks to become a businessman, and so you did very well for yourself. What do you credit your success to?
You know, basically, I was raised in the South, so I married my parents, sharecroppers, and pick cotton and chop cotton. But basically, we went to church, faith in a lot of hard work.
So what prompted you to run for mayor?
Tired of the thing going on with the city. One is that the school closing, fit the school closing, coming to a parents' home and disrupt it. You know, those pressure kids. You know, that, the red light camera, you know, taxes high, having people on the school board, and then doing business with the city. So I said, well, look, all these things that's going on, why not get out and do something about it? Stop complaining. So I got into it, got involved. I'm not going to take a paycheck. The paycheck I will take, I'll donate it to the churches and other organizations. So the city has me like, the citizens have me like for free. I don't need the money. I'm really running to help the citizen, and just tired of this mayor here coming into people's lives and disrupt their life.
All right, well, let's talk about some of these big issues that you've brought up, because Mayor Emanuel, in conjunction with the school board, which right now is not elected, and the CEO of CPS, have all said that something needed to drastically be done to improve schools in Chicago, consolidate or close, and help with the finances. What would you have done differently?
Well, one thing about it is, mate, when you are not an elected school board, all right, when you are appointed to a position, you pretty much owe it to the person that appoints you. We support elected school board. The thing I would do different with the school board, elect school board, number one, reassess the 50 schools that were closed, and let's say the citizen decide that we want 25 of them open, 50%. Well, the citizen make that decision, and let's say that they say, well, 25% or 50%, we don't have nothing to do with it. I'll open those schools up for trade. So when a kid finish school, they got to go ahead and get a trade. Then the rest of them I've opened up for business in the community, taxpayers' dollars, people go into business. Give them the school for $1. Let them come into the school, open it up for business, and do business with the city of Chicago. I would introduce legislation that anybody that does business with the city of Chicago had to reflect all citizens in its community. So how you get them started? School for $1, set your business up, the city own the property for 10 years, 15-year lease, or whatever it may be, and you recreate empowerment for the neighborhood.
All right,
that's how we start with it.
Let's move on to policing and safety and security in neighborhoods, especially those that have some very high crime rates. The murder rate has been going down, but what would you do differently than what Mayor Emanuel has done to improve policing and help in these much needed in these communities that need a lot of help?
Well, one thing I would do is not bring in any more policing. We're not a Vietnam. I would fire the superintendent of police. I would hire 4 more superintendents of police. Divide the city in 4 sections. So that way each superintendent can get closer to his community. I would take 75% of all the police officers out of the automobiles, let them ride the L, let them ride the bus, let them walk the street, and how you pay for them, those automobiles is off the street. Gasoline is off, those type of things there, all right? You don't have to fix like mechanics and things like that, those cars. It's more than enough to pay for that.
Let me ask you about an issue that struck you personally. About 20 years ago, 2 of your sons, one of whom is now working with you on the campaign, the 2 of them were involved in some gang activity.
Yes.
One of them was shot and killed during a gang shooting. Tell me how that has impacted your life and how it is affecting your run for mayor.
Well, when you lose a kid, it hurts, I'm very sensitive to crime, drugs and gang, things of that nature. And if I want to fix it as your mayor, I'll get in there and I'll fix it. We need more friendly police officer within our community to help fix it. When you have a depressed community with no economic growth, create crime. We got to change that. We have to have the city to do business with the community that reflect. Once you do that, it's all about economic.
The son who was killed was named Omar, and you've named your medical supply company after him.
That's correct.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
There is yet another son with whom you're estranged, and that's who I was referring to in the lead-in to you, who posted those comments that you have been out of his life. And let's just hear a little bit of what he had to say, and your campaign has superimposed what your counter-arguments to what he's saying. So let's just listen a little bit, please.
Crazy that, he donate money to a church, but he don't even know his grandkids. I've been working a 9 to 5, struggling, trying to pay my bills, late on my rent currently and everything. And I never looked at him as far as for a handout or anything. But I always just ask him just simply just to be in my life,
So you claim in those superimposed graphics there that you have paid a substantial amount of child care for him, but he remains out of your life. Could you tell us a little bit about that situation and what you believe his comments how it might impact your campaign?
Well, I don't talk about my personal life in this campaign. It got nothing to do with me running the city. That's just personal. So that's my say-so on it. It got nothing to do with me running the city. I run a multi-million-dollar business, and that's pretty much that.
But you believe that you fulfilled your duties, at least financially, as a father to this young man?
Financially, I follow the law of the land.
If as the campaign progresses, there are, of course, 2 other high-profile candidates running against Mayor Emanuel, the Cook County, Jesus Chuy Garcia, Cook County Commissioner, and then Alderman Bob Fioretti. If it turns out, as the campaign progresses, that the 2 of them seem to be doing much better in polls, do you have any plans to drop out and support either of them, or are you going to fight this out until the election?
No, I think those candidates nice candidates. I certainly respect them. My only gripe is pretty much with the present mayor. I invested $1 million of my money into the race. We would start hitting commercial. By all means, I'm not going to try to outspend this mayor here now. I want to earn it. The only reason I'm going to put some commercial on TV is just let people know who I am, get a chance to get a look at it, and do that. But I'm going to walk the street. I'm going to knock on doors, the barber shop, and things like that. Get into the church and do things of that nature and earn it. Because I don't want to try to buy my way through anything. Then let the citizen elect me if that be the case.
Very quickly, sir, your campaign is backed, or at least has a lot of support from Ricky Hendon. Is he running your campaign? And he's a very controversial former alderman and former state senator.
Well, he's helping me, obviously, me. I respect him. I don't go back into people's past that much, because if I go back in my past, listen, we all are entitled to, if there's somebody that made a mistake, but we all are entitled to grace and mercy.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Willie Wilson, we appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you.